Do you have just no interest in the moon at all? Like,
no, we'll go to the moon. We have SpaceX has a NASA contract to take astronauts to the moon. So NASA did choose SpaceX to return astronauts to the moon, and we intend to do that.
What would be like the mission?
Well, I mean, Starship is gigantic compared to anything that's, like I said, ever been done before. So this is not like a tiny little thing lands on the moon. This is like giant ass spaceship lands on the moon. It's capable of putting 100 tons of payload on the moon. So a lot. You could build a moon base with Starship. So we can go way beyond what was done with the Apollo program, where they just had a small lander that, and they sort of were on the surface of the moon for, I don't know, maybe some number of hours, and then they got back in and took off. So the Apollo program was not capable of building a moon base, but the Starship system is capable of building a moon base. I mean, it's designed to be capable of building a city on the moon or Mars. That's what the system is designed to be able to do. So
that's insane.
Well, why is the goal right now to get to Mars before the moon?
No, we'll probably get to the moon first.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But not build. Would we build a city on it, or not on the moon?
I mean, I think we should build a city on the moon.
It's closer,
and on Mars. Yeah, we're way closer than Mars.
Mars is
like
so
Mars is like nutty far.
It's more convenient.
Why do you want to colonize Mars?
I think it's important for. I think there's two reasons. One is kind of a defensive reason that, like, if something bad were to happen to Earth, then it could be like a meteor, or like whatever destroyed the dinosaurs, super volcanoes. Could be World War III. Like, we could just like nuke each other to death or something. Like, I don't know. World War III is like seeming a little more probable these days.
Mm-hmm.
That might be the leading factor.
It might be the leading factor. So, so there could be either some natural disaster or something where humanity just like suicides itself with a World War III situation, and then it would be, good to have a second planet where so that like civilization isn't wiped out. So that's the kind of the defensive reason. It's like life insurance for life collectively, and so not just for humans, but all like the creatures that we love. So that's like the defensive reason.
So you're gonna pull like a Noah's Ark vibe and bring like animals too?
Yeah. I mean, sure, absolutely.
Oh
wow!
What do you think Mars is going to look like?
Well, long term, we could make it look like Earth. We have to warm it up, but there's a lot of ice on Mars. It's cold, so like you just have to warm it up to have liquid water. But Mars would have an ocean of, I think, about roughly maybe a mile deep on 40% of the planet, roughly.
Wow.
Yeah. So if it was warming up,
so that's all
a lot
ice.
Of water.
All ice right now.
Just ice.
40% of the planet.
That shit is crazy.
Just ice. In fact, a lot of the ice that you see on Mars at the poles is actually dry ice. It's CO2, frozen CO2.
I've always been into aliens, and I remember it's like when I was a kid when they first found like ice on Mars. Yeah. That sparked like all the alien rumors on Mars. And stuff like that. Like, if there's ice, there might be life.
Right. There's massive amounts of ice on Mars. That's like crazy. Not a little. It's a crazy amount.
Well, how would you warm it up then?
I mean, well, you could use like solar reflectors, or you could just create artificial suns with a series of like thermonuclear explosions. Like this, the sun is like a giant.
You'd create a sun
thermonuclear reactor. It's a like if you're worried about like, well, will that generate like dangerous radiation? We'll have you stood in front of the sun. If you just go out in the sun.
Sure.
The sun is it's a giant thermonuclear reactor.
So wait, you could create.
So obviously you can stand in front of the sun and not die.
It must be nerve-wracking though, because it's like all tests.
Yes. So
like,
yes,
you know what I mean?
You could create like a permanent like sun like by Mars.
No, you'd have to do.
Or would it just be like a heat wave and then it's kind of gone and it melts all the ice?
Yeah, you'd have to do kind of like a series of, like if you like launched like a missile every, I don't know, 10 seconds, and then it's like fireworks but real big.
Okay.
Okay. Thermonuclear fireworks.
Okay.
But you couldn't have a sustained reaction because the sun is a gravitationally contained thermonuclear reactor, so you need a lot of gravity. The sun is well over 90%, well over 99% of all the mass of the solar system.
Oh,
so
it's big.
It's very big.
What are the so fascinating?
Right? Yeah. What are the first steps? Like, what do you start with to start civilization on Mars? What's the first thing you got to do?
I think the first thing you got to do is build a base, and then that base would have like the essentials of like food production, water, like, which is, like have ice mining droids that would like go mine ice and then melt it and purify the water. And then you need a propellant, kind of a propellant factory or propellant plant. So Mars's atmosphere is primarily CO2. And if you take water, which is H2O, you can turn CO2 and H2O into CH4 and O2, which is methane and oxygen. So that's why Starship uses methane as a fuel. It's mostly oxygen, so it's like 78% oxygen, the propellant, and 22% fuel. So in space, in a vacuum, there's no oxygen to burn. So you've got to bring your own oxygen, and you mostly bring oxygen. So you need a propellant plant to create the liquid oxygen, liquid methane, and food and water, and the basics essentially. That would be the thing to start off with, you'd be living in kind of like glass domes and partially underground and stuff. So it will be hard living in the beginning on Mars, like not like a luxury situation.
So who are the first people that go live there?
I don't know, pioneers. But I would say for the first people that go to Mars, it's going to be like dangerous, like you might die, food probably not good, it's going to be a long and difficult trip. It's probably like a lot of pain and danger. That's sad.
What do you think about population?
On the other hand, it's going to be a glorious adventure.
So it sounds like there's got to be a...
So who wants in?
Well, I mean, but I bet you there's still a fucking long list, right?
Yeah.
People that want to do it.
I think once maybe there's threats to Earth, then the list gets huge, right?
There's probably a huge list already.
Yeah,
man.
Maybe. I mean, I think there's there's people that climb Mount Everest and stuff. So or like
thrill seekers.
sail the cross Pacific by themselves. So I think there's like you got 8 billion people on Earth, so you only need a small number to want to do it.
How much?
But I'm just saying it's like the beginning is going to be like dangerous, difficult, and like not like it's not like a luxury resort. It's going to be dangerous and difficult and a lot of work basically. But over time you can make it awesome.